Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 1 minute. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that this is a situation where I'm recording myself, seeing the information for the very first time, as opposed to having already recorded everything and then coming back and explaining what's already happened. So this is not a trade recap. This is not some sort of post commentary. I literally don't know what's coming next. So in other words, if you just want an unscripted, nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader and how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. So I will go ahead and pause and I'll be back at the open. All right, the markets are now open, and I'm gonna certainly just let this opening 1 minute play go by. So right now watching Tesla here. Let me get my marker up here. So right there, that is a 1 minute candlestick, meaning this candlestick, as it's called, will continue to shift around and move for 1 minute, and then after that minute it is up, a whole new one will start to form. So a very strong start here for Tesla. Let's see what Zoom's up to. Right. Get this one alerted here. That one looks pretty interested at a break of 100, but wow. That's basically a $10 stop loss you're looking at there, if not more. In other words, KRYS, quite a volatile stock. NVAX, MRNA has a interesting level right at 361. So let's see if it wants to get down through 361. In there at 362.52. Just 50 shares because this one can move very, very quickly. So let's see if it wants to come down here. Again, 361 going to be the key break. Wanted to try to jump in ahead of that a little bit here. Let's see if we can get that break. Yeah, 361.37. It really needs to be alerted here. MRNA 361 flush point 1 minute. I'm going to add. Well, I thought I was going to add, but as it comes back up now, looking like I'm just going to have to take the stop loss on it. Yeah, so down 423. Well, I will say this. I am very, very thankful that I only took 50 shares on that, because this thing could very well be turning around for a breakout now. And there is the breakout. So while I was knocking on the door, thought I was going to get them pull back to the downside, but completely reversed around on me. So like I said, the one thing I feel fantastic about, only took 50 shares, because had I done more, I mean, that loss would have been a whole lot more. Yeah, wow. What a turnaround. Okay, well, starting down $400. So let's see what else I can find. All right, watching 221 here, in at 221.18 on NVAX. Let's see if we can get a move down to at least 218.50. So 220 going to be that first key break. So Can 220 fail? Let's see what it wants to do. Question is, do I want to add some more at 220? We'll see how the next couple candles here play out. Watching MRNA off screen too, because these ones are pretty closely tied together. If that one falls to the downside, so here's MRNA that I'm watching. It's got to think of MRNA comes down through 365. That NVAX you would think would follow. Of course, no guarantees because they are two separate stocks, but and MRNA did break. So you can see it broke down through there, and NVX is trying to come down, but again, that 220 mark being very, very stubborn. So 220, does it want to fail or not? Now the good news is, because it's so stubborn, if it does fall, then I would expect it to move relatively quickly. But that's also the bad news, is because it's a very stubborn level. So will it fail? I don't know. Now, of course, I think it will, hence me taking the trade on it, but so coming down at 220 again. And look at MRNA go. Whoops. I guess I shouldn't have stopped out of that one. That even got the break right there, 361. And NVAX, I chose poorly here. MRNA going down. This one just going sideways here. Will MRNA drag down NVAX though? Wow. So yeah, got this correlation wrong. I got the break what I thought, but NVAX, just as you have seen here, did not follow. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Should have just been undisciplined, not stopped out of mRNA, and I would have been fine. All right, well, here's 220 again. Look at this 220 level. Okay, well, I am going to go ahead and pause the video for now because I'm not going to have this video just keep going and going as this chops back and forth. But if it looks like I'm going to need to be stopped out, or if I get the trade to move in my favor with the 220 break, then I will get the video rolling at that point. Okay, nearing 220 again. All right, there's the break. Very nice. Took off 10 shares at 219. Let's see if I can get some more off at 218. Would like to see this one really start to pick up some downwards momentum here. Now this still could be a losing trade, because if this thing just decides to snap back against me, well then that'll be all she wrote. But again, trying to see if this thing wants to make the move down through 218. As would be expected. Lots of buyers down there at 218. Okay, there's the break. Very nice. Let's see if this thing can get down to 217, if not even lower than that. Was definitely hoping a bit more momentum would show up here. And it still might, which is why I'm not pulling anything off. See if we can get down to 216, which would be the lows, and maybe even break to new lows, which I would think would send and cause even more stop losses to trigger. Can we get the break of 216? Nice. Now I'm working on 215. Still have 40 shares. There's a break of 2. All right, now a bit of a bounce. And this is a very overextended move right now. So I don't want to get too much of a greedy savage with it. Let's see if we can get the move back below 215 here. Can it really do 214? Knocking on the door, 214. And all out there, hey, I'm up $7 on the day. Well, why don't you look at that? Well, and there it keeps. Wow. I mean, that thing went straight down. And MRNA. So I got the breakdown there. 354 though. 354. 54. I'm doing the math, so that'd be about 355. Yeah, I don't know. The 5 minutes got me worried on this one now. I could see this. Yeah, I better stay away from it. Again, in hindsight, yes, you're right. I should have just held. Maybe I should have added some more as it went up, because then it completely rolled back over. But at that time, when I took that original loss, I didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know. So yes, I understand. This is why textbooks really don't work. To pull up a textbook and be like, yeah, so you could have shorted there, and then added some more there, and then added some more there, and then things would have been fine. It's like, oh yeah, that's easy to see from a textbook perspective. But obviously, when you're trading real, you don't know what's coming next. And that is the problem point. And there we go. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't follow it there. All right, and NVAX did bounce. Okay. Let's go back over to NVAX. So there we had one where they eventually did work out together, but I still was not, they didn't work out as much as I thought they would, but MRNA ultimately just proved to be kind of the anchor that dragged this thing down. And you can see that this one is bouncing. But there we go. One losing trade, one winning trade, up $7. And again, I realize, because, you know, the same voice show up to me, you should have just held Clay. If you would have never taken that first loss, it would have not only been been okay, it would have been actually a very big winning trade, because the thing dropped basically $10 from that where you thought it was going to. But again, that's all easy to say now in hindsight. Okay, well, I will go ahead and pause and I'll look around, see if there's any other opportunities. All right, watching 360 here, and this is going to be a trade that either sends me into the red or puts me into the green a bit more, because basically I'm at break even here. But if it does, so in there at 360.71. So if this does put me into the red, not going to be anything huge. It's not going to be $400 again. Not that $400 was huge or anything like that. But situation where this thing's either going to roll back over because we have a bear flag that's formed, or it's going to prove to just kick the bear flag in the face and say, no, we're going back up. And if that's the case, well, then I'm okay and prepared with the loss that I could potentially be facing here. So now it's just a question of, does this bear flag want to play out or doesn't it? But given that the video is now, we're already up over 16 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I will keep you updated on how this ultimately plays out. All right, I've drawn that trend line in play here, which is going to be the first key area that I'm curious. Can the price even break down through that trend line? If it does, still more work needs to be done, but that would be a good starting point. But right now, it's looking like it might just want to bounce right off it, which is obviously not what I want to see. So yeah, look at that. See how, oh, there we go. Got the break of it. Okay, took off just 5 shares. So this could still be a losing trade very realistically. But got the break of the trend line. Now seeing if it wants to give me some more continuation to the downside here. And it did, somewhat, in the sense it gave me, pulled off another 5 shares. Not a huge fan of how it's struggling right now. So down to 25 shares. Started all with 50, so still have half my position, just in case this does ultimately want to come down here. So there we did get the break. Can we get down to nice. Well, I'm glad I hung on to those shares, because those are, again, that's why you never just want to completely hop out, because I was becoming unsure, but I was wrong to be unsure, but I was right to at least still hang on to some of my position here. So just seeing if it does want to indeed get down to 356. What are these lows? Yeah, I could see this going down to 354. So let's do this. Let's go 355 for my next potential profit lock area. And then if this goes back up to 360, I will... Yeah, let's just do that. If this goes up to 360, I'm going to just stop out. But for now, I'll let the rest ride. Ooh, 350. There we go. Okay, now if this goes up to 359, actually, let me double check that. Excuse me, 358. 358. All right, just can we get a break of these lows? I could very well see it bounce off of this area here. High. So now going to go to 355 for the remaining 10 shares. So let's just do this. Stop 355.01. And now it's just a question of, all right, how much money am I going to make? Right? Because I have no idea how far down this wants to go. And all right, bounce up that quick. So it took me out there for, and now I'm up 134 on the day. So I'm not quite sure how much made $100 and something on that. So very nice. And yep, basically bounced right off that level. And it's 10:02. And I like to be done after 30 minutes. So on average that is. And at 30 minutes here, up 134. So I mean, in all things considered, I'm not sure of many places in the world where you can make $130 in, 30 minutes working at home online, pressing buttons, but you can. It's known as, online day trading. If you're new, maybe you're just kind of stumbled on this. So if you are looking for some sort of side hustle or whatever, something to consider. But as you also saw here, you got to be prepared to lose too, because that's part of it. No such thing as always winning. No such thing as a golden goose strategy that will guarantee to make you money. You got to, focus on risk management, understand risk management and all of that. But when you do that, then, you can start off the day like you saw me in a $400 hole, but then ultimately close up $130, which again, 30 minutes, hey, when you compare it to what minimum wage is for an hour, what is an hour, $15? So $15 for 1 hour or $130 for a half an hour. I'm not a mathematical genius, but I'm going to go ahead and take that. And I don't say any of this to brag, but as you longer time viewers know, I say it to build context, because it's very easy to look around social media and such and say, oh, wow, look how much that person made. And then you look at your own results and you're like, I'm just not very good. I must be doing something wrong. And you start to doubt or second guess yourself, when in all actuality, I mean, let's just say I had made $50 or $25 in 30 minutes compared to the minimum wage, $15 for 1 hour. I mean, that would still be a very, very impressive amount. Or the best way to really put it is, if you were to go up to somebody that makes minimum wage and you'd say, I worked 30 minutes online sitting at home in my bathrobe, and I made $30 in 30 minutes. They'd be like, wait, and you're complaining about that? I still haven't even made $15 because I only get $15 per hour. And yet you made double what I made in, half the time. So it's all about perspective. So just keep that in mind as you go on your trading journey, because I'm the same way. It's easy to look around and think that you're doing something wrong. But you know what? I'm going to take it, especially, again, given the context where I actually started off down $400. But that's all I have. If you do enjoy these live trade videos, and a big request from me, please communicate that to me, because they're not easy to make, because they are genuinely live. I have to talk to you. I have to think about what I'm going to say to you. I have to scan for my own trades. I have to think about my trade plans. I have to make alerts in my private community. I have to type up those alerts. I mean, so there's a lot going on. So I don't say this for pity. I just say it to help you understand why I don't make these videos every day, and why I do want your feedback if you would like for me to continue to make them, because I just want to make sure that they're worth the time and effort that are required. And you can communicate that to me. So if you enjoy these videos, if you would like for me to continue to make them, hit that like button and then leave a basic comment below. Say hi. Give me a ticker symbol that you traded today, or whatever traded. If you're trading crypto, whatever you're trading, let me know in the comment section. Give me a smiley face emoji, but hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment below goes a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know people are enjoying, then I will continue to make them. So get out there, manage risk, and just realize that it's okay to take losses, because if you keep them controlled, then as you can see here, not only can you wipe away those losses, but you can end up in the green. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.